Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and it's a little bit about Traser watches today. My goodness, where's Traser been? I haven't done a video on them in, it seems like forever. Traser had some distribution changes back in, what year are we in? 2020? So back in 2019, they had some distribution changes, and Traser, Switzerland, it's a Swiss company, really didn't have any representation in the USA through all of 2019. I believe, I know more than believe. Here in 2020, they did find a new distribution partner, so the watches the watches are always here, but I'm starting to get new styles in again. So today I'm going to show you just a couple of new styles and one older one that I think you'll find interesting. Just a quick background. Traser is owned by MB Microtech. MB Microtech is a Swiss company that makes those little tritium vials of radioactivity for glow-in-the-dark watches. What do they call it? TLS or I don't know, TTL, tritium tube light sources or whatever. Basically, it's like a Luminox. It's like a ball. It's those little tubes of material, of tritium gas, filled with tritium gas that is radioactive. Very small radioactivity. They say it's like, a banana with all its potassium emits more radioactivity than a tritium watch. And then coated on the inside of that little sealed glass tube is a phosphorescent compound. So when the radioactivity hits it, it energizes and emits a little photon of light that we perceive as visible light. So they are glow in the dark all the time and never need charging. Okay, I'm still doing an Islander and a Flightmaster. I just filmed the intro to another video, so who knows? The watch is still pretty much at the same time they just were a few minutes ago. Let's check out Traser watches. So this will serve as your warning. These three watches are large. They are all 45 plus millimeters. So at this point, you've watched the YouTube advertisement, so thank you very much. If you're into smaller watches, maybe just stick around and just check out these pretty cool pieces. So three pieces from Traser. This one is not old, but it was released a couple of years ago, maybe about 2 years ago or so. These two are new. What I dig about the one on the left is that it is quartz. The one on the right is automatic. But it's like, not the same watch, but they're very close, and they were able to keep the design, the case, a lot of it the same, and basically offer a very similar watch in a quartz model. Again, because they're a Swiss company, everything is Swiss, it's Swiss made, so they are pricey. The one on my right hand nears $1,000, whereas the one on my left hand goes for half that. So just very interesting that they can do that. I guess I'll just start with the quartz GMT. Here we go. So this is the Traser P68 Pathfinder GMT Swiss quartz watch with compass and anti-reflective sapphire crystal. Beautiful green dial, comes in a green strap. The same watch also does come in blue. Not this blue, it's a slightly different blue, but in quartz as well. So the Pathfinder is their, kind of their compass watch, their outdoorsman watch. Traser really builds pretty much just sports watches. They tried the dress watch field not long ago. It wasn't long ago, I guess. At this point, the classic was like 3 years. It really didn't do well at all. They make great sports watches. It's just, tritium lume. It screams sports. So we're looking at it's a 46 millimeter case. It's 12 thick to that AR sapphire crystal. It is 56 on the tip to tip. Okay, obviously the case is it's PVD stainless steel. It does have a solid, I guess I should show it, right? A solid screw down case back. We'll go through the case back in a minute. Nice green nylon strap with matching PVD hardware. 100 meters of water resistance. So the crown of the watch is screwed down. So you have to unscrew it to get it to work. We'll get to that in a second. And then on the right here, also screwed down, is a secondary crown. And this is your compass crown. So I guess I'll come in a bit and use it however you want. But this is, the Alpinist does not use a screw down crown on the compass. I like that this does. So you move it any way you want. I will try to align it at 12. There you go. And it screws down. Isn't that cool? Pretty nifty. But this watch is clearly more than just a compass watch. It is a GMT, so this red-tipped hand is independently settable. It is a Swiss quartz movement, so we can unscrew the crown. We can wind it. No, we can. It's battery, so it's just freewheeling in this position. put out 2 clicks, we could change the time. Notice as we change the time, the GMT hand is slaved to it. So 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And you see the GMT hand is going to revolve half as fast as the hour hand, making 1 entire revolution per day. So we're looking at a, we've got the hands. I'm all over the place today. The GMT hand is pointing to this compass bezel, which has 24-hour markings. And also, just for reading military time, you have this inner 24-hour scale. So there's 2 24-hour scales for you to look at. I guess it could get a little confusing that this orange hand is pointing to this scale here. That is not what we want. We want to be looking at this scale, which makes rotating the inner bezel, able to set this watch so it gets a 3rd time zone if you really want to get technical. But set the GMT hand, pull the crown at 1 click, and turn it. And it's independently settable, not on the half hour, not on the hour, wherever you want. If you live in one of those crazy places as a half time zone, you can do it. So let's just do, for an example, it's 8 o'clock on the watch. Let's say, I don't know, let's say it's noon GMT somewhere. So as I were to advance the time, you'll see 2 hours later, 1, 2, it's 10 o'clock local time. It's now 1400 hours, wherever that imaginary place is that I decided to check out. So you'll definitely notice we have tritium tubes on the markers and on the hands. On the GMT hand. We'll see how it glows in a second. The problem with tritium markers is they do not glow super bright. They glow bright enough for you to see them with adjusted eyes. So GMT, Traser, H3. H3 is the chemical symbol, or the chemistry symbol for the tritium gas that they use to fill the tubes. Let's go to the case back. So P68 Traser Pathfinder. So reference number, the serial number, it's Swiss made, H3 illumination, how much radioactivity there is, and all that good stuff. We'll turn on the lights at the end and check it out. So this guy goes for $495. That's $495 for a Swiss quartz GMT with sapphire and tritium. Honestly, not a terrible price. Bring in this guy now, and this guy goes for, I'm looking for my notes, I'm sorry, I should have him here, about 920 bucks. Not horrendous. Same case, has everything about the watch the same, but it's not a GMT, okay? It is just a regular 12-hour watch. They still have the military time on the dial. Slightly different markers on the dial for the tritium vials, but you notice they dropped the 24-hour scale on the outer rotating compass. So this is a Swiss Auto, so we just have to wind her up, and there she goes. Off to the races. 20,800 beats per hour. People are going to ask me what movement's in a Solita or an ETA. I honestly, a lot of times the companies can use them interchangeably depending on what the market is brewing, and sometimes they will put it on the back and sometimes they will not. So you notice that they did not put it on the back. So I am not going to pop it open to check it out. Just suffice to say that it is a Swiss automatic movement, so it is either a Solita or an ETA. Like I said, a lot of the companies, they're virtually interchangeable between cases, so they can use whatever is available. Beautiful blue dial. I love the green accents. I don't know if I'm really hot on the strap. It's kind of weird for me, but dial pops incredibly. Like I said, so this guy, 56 on the lug tip to lug tip, so it is pretty beefy and meaty, but 920 bucks for the Swiss Auto. Which brings us to the last one, the Traser Swiss Tactical with trigger light, or that tritium tube illumination, and sapphire crystal. So we're looking at 44 millimeters in diameter, 13.8 thick, 50 on the lug tip to lug tip. The case back is held in with individual screws this time because it is a polymer case. It's a glass fiber reinforced polymer case. A fancy way of saying a composite. Another way of saying a plastic, but is a very strong impact resistant plastic. 22 millimeter lug width. Oh, I don't think I mentioned did I mention it? The Pathfinder lug width. I'm sorry. On these. Let's get my handy dandy marathon calipers out. And this is a 24 millimeter lug. So 24. This guy is 22. It comes in a beautiful rustic brown leather strap, single piece, single pass through, with matching hardware, buckle, super light. I can't tell you how light this thing is. Screw down crown? No, it is a push pull crown, but it's still 200 meters of water resistance, which is cool that they can get that done. Green dial, tritium illumination, and we'll check out if there's a lume dot up here in the bezel. 60 click unidirectional ratcheting bezel. No filling on the bezel. Kind of makes it hard to read, but you can't get everything in life, can you? Let's see. Maybe we can check out the case back real quick. So it's the P96 ODP Evolution. Again, 200 meters of water resistance. You see it's held in with individual screws. Very nice looking. So I think that all that remains, well, I guess a wrist shot, right? And then some lume shots. I'm going to try to make it really dark so we can get the lume to kind of really stand out. So I'll set that up for you now. So the first one we're going to hit is the that P96, the last one I showed you. So it uses two types of lume. It uses photo illumination on the numbers, which you can clearly see. And then it uses tritium markers around the 1 through 12 and on the hands. The problem with doing lume shots on camera is that the super lume overpowers the hands. So the hands glow very dimly, but the idea is that once your eyes adjust to the night light, you can read it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit it with a black light, because when you have a black light on it, you can clearly see. So the hands and this the second hand. Notice how I turn off the black light? These hands don't stay, they don't absorb energy, whereas the numbers are absorbing the energy. Okay, and then you can see all the markers around the dial as well, and the pip at 12 is clearly tritium. Do you see how that's working? Oh my God, don't do that. That's that's a problem. That's a mode on the flashlight. And then there's two lines under the Traser name that are tritium also. So kind of like a mixed bag here. So the next one is that Traser GMT, which I'm actually showing you right now. You can see the green lights is bouncing off the crystal. Again, don't say, oh, the lume on these sucks. It's not, because it's all radioluminescence, which is dim. But then when you pop on the black light, it's clear that the watch glows, and glows well. You can see the passive illumination is the cardinal directions on the compass, and then the radioluminescence is the hands and the markers. So the last one is that Traser Auto, which also, again, uses a combination of looms. So you can see the hand is kind of loomed, the numbers are kind of loomed. But then once you're with the black light, you see the markers around the dial certainly pop, as well as the illuminations on the compass. So the first one is that 44 millimeter, the last one I showed you, kind of like a general purpose watch. There we go. Looks nice. Looks really nice. 44 on the diameter, 50 on the lug tip to lug tip. Again, we're still in my zone. I think I can still wear these, my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Strap is super comfortable, very soft, very nice. I have a feeling that Pathfinder's gonna be too big, but let's check them out. Oh yeah, can you say pie plate? It's too big for me. But what were they thinking on the strap? Look at this, look how small the strap will go. I mean, I know it's a one-piece strap, but I mean, come on. Can you imagine somebody with a wrist that much smaller than mine, popping this plate on their wrist? That's tremendous. I can't get away with it. It's too flat. There's too much glass here. It just looks tremendous. But hey, maybe if you've got a 7.5 or an 8, it'll work fine for you. For me, it's a definite no-go on the sizing. So I think that will about wrap it up. This has been Mark from LongOutWatch.com, showing you a couple of new Traser watches. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and I'll be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.